I think the best way to answer that is to take, I'm not sure if you've seen LinkedIn before, but it's the evolution of a car. Cars have always gotten better throughout the years, but they're still a car. AI is never going to change. It's always going to be artificial intelligence, no matter what you do it. What it does, no matter what you call it, it's artificial intelligence, but it's going to constantly evolve and grow and get better and better into doing what it was made to do.
Yeah.
Make human jobs easier for humans. Humans are going to be able to say, okay, let me work less, get that work balance, work less, and have it to where I have my business working autopilot for me. AI said, okay, if you understand it, you know how to do it.
All right, so thank you all in advance for joining in today on Driven by Intelligence. Today we've got a special guest, Sean Schaffer. I've never asked, Sean, am I saying your name right when I say Sean Schaffer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure. So today on Driven by Intelligence, as y'all know, I'm big about pronunciating the right names the right way. We're bringing on a special guest who knows a thing or two about building businesses, and building it is smart in the right way. So Sean Schaffer is not just an AI enthusiast. He's a founder, entrepreneur, and a true builder of systems that actually moves the needle. From pounding the phones in the early days to pioneering AI voice bots, lead revival tools, and database automation, Sean's journey is a real blueprint for resilience, innovation, and next level growth, right? So he's got that rare mix of old school grit, I'd say, and new school intelligence that's necessary. And today we're diving into how AI is transforming the speed to lead, customer conversations, and real business results, why the phone is still one of the most powerful tools when combined with AI, how today's version of AI is the worst it will ever be. We talked about that before, and why that's good news for innovators, and simple steps dealerships and business owners can take right now to leverage AI without losing their human touch. So if you've ever wondered how to revive old leads, turn conversations into conversions, or future-proof your customer experience, this episode is for you. Let's jump in. Sean, thank you in advance. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And to start us off, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us some background on you.
So I think the best way to describe myself is the alligator skin salesman. I've sold uh, everything from cable to pest control, Cox, door to door, anything, everything. All they haven't sold is knives and vacuum. Other than that, anything throughout the last 30 years or so, grind. And I had a friend of mine, it's actually my profile, my LinkedIn profile, who told me he's a very well-off individual. He says, Sean, what you need you to do is take everything you've learned from every company, period, package all that up and sell it. Once he said that, I just, and I was like, okay, you know what? I got to start my own company, and I got to just find my way. And my specialty was the phone. I had the ability to make a connection and do rapport quick on the telephone. So I love the phone. And the biggest thing I did was I started setting pre-qualified appointments, meaning you could sell a lead of a name, person, number, blah, blah, blah. Or you could sell an appointment. Somebody's taking the time and they want to hear about your product or service. And they're interested, and you can ask qualifying questions to make sure this is the person I'm going to speak to, and that they're interested in actually buying this and not just kicking tires. So the thing I did, which set me apart from everybody else that I knew of, was I never charged up front. So you were going to give me $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000, whatever, and then I have to pay back at the appointment to the show. I put my money where my mouth was. I say, you know what? You only pay me after the appointment sits. So now insurance, solar, whatever it is, you pay me after the appointment sits, and I was able to charge a nice amount because of that. And some would even, especially in solar, because they make like 10 grand per sale. So they were able to pay a whole lot more. So you know what? if this person qualifies in credit, not just sitting, but they qualified credit and they pass, we'll pay you X amount. I was like, you know what? Yeah, yeah, why not?
It's-
What's
yeah.
what's amazing is I was asking for, compared to what they're offering, I was asking for peanuts. And then I was like, wait a minute. So I switched the way I was doing things, but I made a mistake where I said I had to find my way. I was making a mistake and I was buying out of my own pocket the data for $1 a call. And I was paying for the data too, the data and $1. Then once I was like, wait a minute, making 10 grand a pop.
Mhm.
This is nothing new to pay me. Then I started making the solar companies pay for the data, pay for $1. I still kept going, but a lot of these people that sell data to different companies, they're selling hand over fist. They're selling to 10, 20, 30, 40 people. And the people know they just their mind, well, I'm gonna expect maybe high 5%. If I get even if I spend 5 grand, if I get one or two sales of this, I don't care. That's all I need to be
Mhm.
successful because I made more money, double money. So they look at it from a perspective of I'm gonna buy a bunch of junk data, and if I can squeeze something out of it, I'm all good to go. Once I
Mhm.
realized that, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not spending my money buying junk data, and you buy the junk data. Then so okay, they still were happy they didn't have to put out any money when it comes to paying up front. Once they realize, okay, he's still we're only paying after the show, okay, all day long. And then became a notary. That was how can I say this? I'm trying to be positive at the same time, give other notaries the respect and the inspiration to do more.
Yeah.
So if you stop, and excuse me if I talk too much, if you
No, you're
stop
good.
and you think about loan officers are making about what, at least around $5,000 per closing. Three, let's say three high end, five, or three low end, five high end. Your banks are making how much money from the house, from selling a house?
Mhm.
Your your realtors to make how much money from selling a house? You take everybody who's involved in the real estate process and how much money we're making. Maybe house goes to foreclosure, the bank is going to resell it, resell. They're making millions off of one home. The notaries are making. They'll tell you I made X amount of dollars, but they're what they make can go from $80. I'm not exaggerating, $80 to like $400, $500.
I believe
And
that.
they have what's called signing services, which say, okay, we'll go out there, we'll hunt for the work for you, but we're taking a cut out of it. So by taking a
Mm.
cut of it, you're now there's realistically, you've seen on LinkedIn, there's people that pay $25 for a signing and they're sitting there for 2 hours. Is they're desperate and they know people are desperate. And I look at notice, I'm like, man, AI can't do anything for your industry, but hunger can. And if you use the same hunger and you realize, look at the whole picture, you're getting it dirty.
Mhm.
So use those relationships and build off of those and do something that maybe you're passionate about, something you want to do. And then you take that road there, but to tie yourself in and say, okay, I'm only doing one thing. Like for you, it's different.
Yeah.
You have the whole entire world where you can do one thing. I'm helping every single dealership. I got millions of dealerships around the world. I'm helping all you guys evolve, help you to grow. But you take a notary, just stuck in one little spot, and you're only doing one little thing, and then go up at your pace, go up and down. No, no, I'm not gonna do it. You can have that guy. You guys should do it. Should do it. I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
If you ain't gonna pay me $800 for signings or $1,000 for signing, we ain't talking because I already know how much realtors make. I already know how much the banks are making. I already know how much everybody else is making. So you gonna pay me or don't say nothing to me. As simple as that.
Wow, that's crazy. I never thought about it the way that you just put it, but it makes so much sense. It just lets me it's confirmation to let me know that there's so many ways in this world while we're here to be successful or at least to make a good living, right? I mean, you can either spend your day all day long at a store, at a dealership, or you could get a skill set to where you you authorize signatures or you're making sure that things are legal, and it's just another avenue. But you mentioned something when you were talking about LinkedIn, and that's kind of how you and I have been connected, is through
Yes.
LinkedIn, and we talk so much. Or I won't say that you and I talk a lot, but we've commented and engaged so much around
Yes.
innovating, right? Technologies, AI, and that's a question I'm curious about. Is like, when did that or when did that moment happen when you started seeing AI as like, okay, this is something that really can help a lot of business owners, including yourself, right? So you as an entrepreneur, how AI is assisting you, but then how you're using AI to empower other people to use it.
Good question. And I'm going to make a very long story shorter. And I'm
No,
going
you're
to,
good.
you're going to appreciate it. Right now, I work with an investor, and the investor works as a marketing company. And their marketing company is partnered with another marketing company that promotes AI only. They promote other products and services. So they introduced me, told me about AI. I was like, at first, I wasn't as blown away as I was in the beginning. I mean, just was last week, I was like, oh my God. But I'll tell you a story. You're like, really? So this is what happened. They showed me about AI, what I can do. And they said, and I still understand to this day. I understand it, but I'm just like, wow, this is for real. Now I know why they had this cartoon called the Jetsons. They were telling us years ago what was going to happen in the future. So, and it all makes sense now. So I sit here and how to express this. This guy tells me anything you can do on the phone or you can do with the computer, you can do with AI.
Mm,
And that's like, what? What'd you say? Anything you can do on the phone or you can do with other computer, you can do on AI because everything has a process. As long as you document it, you can tell AI what to do. And AI is so smart. AI can search stuff while it's talking to you because it's a little computer. It searches stuff while it's talking to you. I'm on occasion, I'll get back to that. You'll be like, whoa, no way. It searches stuff and you're like, huh? And it's talking to you. And yeah, there's gonna be mistakes. Humans make mistakes. So of course
sure.
AI's make mistakes. So they came to me. It's okay. This is what you want to do. They had me start from A, B, C, D. Appreciate every single step that I was making and I was doing. And to where in my mind, I was like, how would we get AI to do this? I'm tired of doing this. So, okay, here you go. AI do this. AI do this. AI do this. Literally right now, I have AI calling different industries to set appointments for me all day long. My joke. This is no, and I'm gonna tell you this story first. So we're calling HVAC industry. That's the
Mm,
owner picks up the telephone, and he's amazed at what he's hearing. This AI, he's like, "Whoa!" It's blown away. He's asking all sorts of crazy questions. See how AI's going to answer. AI's answering all these questions, and then he just puts the phone down and he just walks away. AI is a computer. AI just waiting to pick the phone up. He started talking. AI just boss packaged your conversation. He has his phone on speaker. He's charging him up, sets the appointment. This is no exaggeration. He sets the appointment to talk to me, for me to talk to him about one of our services. After he sets the appointment, he thinks he hangs up the phone, but he doesn't. His secretary is like, he's like, wow, that's the best AI I've ever heard. And the secretary, it automatically is like, that's not AI. That's not AI. You have to type 70 words per minute to do that. Blah, blah, blah. She is going on for at least 2 minutes about how it's not AI and it's impossible for AI to do that. He's amazed, like, I need this. In her thought, in her mind, she was, how I put it, she was smart enough to understand what AI could do, but she
mhm.
wasn't smart enough to say, okay, I can use the AI. And AI still has to be managed by a human. So people fear being replaced by AI.
Yeah,
You're not going to be replaced by AI. Just learn how to use AI so it stays as your assistant. So
yeah.
she mentally shut that down. Was like, I'm gonna lose my job.
Yep.
If I
That's
have a
true
robot
fear.
talk like that, lose my
Yeah,
job. And okay, yeah, I understand the fear, but if you take fear and you get to know what you're afraid of, you can learn how to manipulate it and how to use it and understand that AI can't do anything unless you program
that's right.
anything at all unless you tell it what to do. And even if it starts to do whatever not, you still have to have a person, a human being, sit there and tell AI, okay, make sure AI is doing things correctly and what tweaks you need to make to it, what tweaks you don't need to make to it. So they put me on board. This is only like a few months ago. And they said, okay, well, I love LinkedIn. So my main thing is, okay, I'm gonna start marketing on LinkedIn. And it's just been amazing to see so many companies, so many industries benefit from AI.
Hmm.
And you can still see who's in fear of AI and who is like, but you're like, okay, well, your job or my job is I have to stay in front of every company, in front, stay, make sure people see me. So whether it takes a month or it takes a year, when that person is ready to come on board with AI, they choose
That's right.
me.
That's really all. I mean, if you think about it, that top of mind. But look, we need to hold on, Sean. That was a lot. So let me unpack something. Sean said that while we're on here now, he's got AIs making phone calls and reaching out. And to me, that's the thing that is just mind blowing in terms of why someone isn't open to that, because it's really one of the few ways that you can scale yourself, but in the most personalized way that I've seen done. And then you talked about how you we train the, whether we call it AI, the AI agents or whichever,
Or
because
whatever.
I've seen dealerships in the automotive industry fire an AI company and say that was terrible, that never worked. And I'll say, well, what didn't work about it? Oh, the messages that it was saying, it didn't even sound like us. And so I'm like, well, wait a second. That's a coaching opportunity, right? It's the same thing as an employee. We don't fire an employee the moment that we see or hear about a call and maybe a customer replies back and says, that didn't feel good the way that you replied. We don't fire that person. We say, hey, this is a coaching opportunity. Instead of saying this when you message or saying this when you call, try this instead. And this kind of leads me to, Sean, we said this before we hit record, the quote, right? And you might have even said in the show, I've got so many notes, but how today is the worst AI will ever be. And I want you to kind of expand on that, because to me, when I hear AI today is the worst it will ever be, if I've not tapped into AI at all, whether I'm a lawyer, I'm an attorney, whether I'm a dealership owner, that would get me excited. But what does that mean when you say that? Like, what are some of the latest and greatest techs that you think is incredible? But then to your point, what's something that maybe 6 months ago you thought was incredible, but today it's really not that deep?
So I think the best way to answer that is to take, I'm not sure if you've seen LinkedIn before, but it's the evolution of a car. Cars have always gotten better throughout the years, but they're still a car. AI is never going to change. It's always going to be artificial intelligence, no matter what you do it. Now, what it does, no matter what you call it, it's artificial intelligence, but it's going to constantly evolve and grow and get better and better in doing what it was made to do,
Yeah.
make human jobs easier for humans. Humans are going to be able to say, okay, let me work less, get that work balance, work less, and have it to where I have my business working autopilot for me. AI said, okay, if you understand it, you know how to do it. There's a recording on LinkedIn about the health industry. I keep seeing it. People have no idea how AI is being used in the health industry and industries everywhere, just the major impact. And it's amazing when you sit and you hear it, like, whoa, I didn't know that. My dad's getting ready to go for or this is my dad's or my mom, I forget. And they're going to they're talking about how AI, they're going to start using AI for certain surgeries because AI is so fine tuned precise. You still got that big human right there to make sure
Mm-hmm.
there's no too. But they're like, AI is is crazy. So let me share the story there. So talk about the progression of AI.
Mm-hmm.
So we just came up with AI, and I myself, I'm not a programmer. Your introduction was wonderful. I'm a marketer and a consultant, and I work and show other businesses how to use AI and how they can use it to help grow the business. I put them on a call with one of our programmers. He explains he knows more about AI than I ever know about it. Not ever want to know about AI. I just know in a nutshell, use AI and for everyone. And anything you can do on the computer on the phone, you do it. And essentially, I never had a fear of AI being better than me because I was like, okay. Well, nobody can. I don't care who you are. Nobody can imitate me.
Mm-hmm.
Even God did. Maybe a twin. God said, "I just Sean Schaffer." So
That's
it's
right.
not. Yeah, you're not gonna look at me. I'm not worried about it. So, but I will tell you an experience that happened with the story. So one of the layered products we have is called, and not mean to be vain or anything when I said God just made one Sean Schaffer. I was just being funny.
No,
So
you're good.
we have this new product out, and actually it helps realtors with their listings. And it answers all the phone calls about your listing. And you can have it set appointments for you. You can have literally anything you want to. So whilst doing this, I'm sitting on the phone. I'm sitting on Zoom. I'm with our partner. He's explained to me, we're going to this call, and he's showing me how this call working. Because I know that you can program AI to do whatever you want and say whatever you want. I thought he had programmed AI to say this information. So one of the questions the lady asked, the realtor asked is, what about TC, was it TCPA or some,
Yeah,
I forget.
TCPA or something like that.
Yeah, the calling rules or not, how do you get around those?
Mm-hmm.
Because AI is a computer, AI quickly searched the internet, explained legally how they get around those on the spot that quick. When I heard this, I'm thinking, oh, okay. He programmed AI to say that. So he asked me, so what did you think about the call? I wasn't moved from the call because you already told me you can program AI to do anything. He was he was moved by the call because he knew what AI did and what he didn't do. So when he explained, I knew the TCPA, that's AI, being AI. I was like, you did what? I was blown away. It's like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that. I'll give you an example, a far of example. Let's say your mom dies. Let's say, Duran, I'm sorry about your mom. All the best for you. Your tone's gonna change. Everything's gonna change. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna say that AI can do that automatically right now, but I bet you in 10 years AI do it.
All day. Empathy,
And
right?
the more it's like growing, understanding different things, different tones. Yeah, you go to chat GPT or nowhere, or your program AI, you're telling it answer with this tone, add this, and be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But you you'll be blown away. You'll be like, whoa. So I want to ask you something, if you don't mind,
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
I've seen your growth and I've seen how even you in the beginning were like, AI, and now it's like we call it a 4K roll, and some clicked on, you're like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this, and now even this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
some education. You're talking about understanding, you're talking about intelligence, artificial intelligence. What was it that made you say to turn on and say, you know what? I'm gonna start using AI.
Who? That's a great question. I would say knowledge. I think I don't know what the quote is. Somebody has a quote, and I heard it on I don't know what show I just watched. It was some little show that my wife had on, but it was something in the context of we fear what we don't know, right? In
Mm-hmm.
terms of lack of
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, input
Mm-hmm.
fear. And I think I was in that space of I don't know enough about that. Mm-mm. That
Mm-hmm.
could replace my consulting business. Mm-mm. I don't want that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was good when it was a chat bot, but I don't like this generational. And so
Mm-hmm.
what ended up happening is knowledge. I think it was a couple courses. So there was a lady named Nikki, then there was Billie Jean. So the more and more I was like, wow. And then I started using it internally, helping me with my business in terms of prospecting, content,
Mhm.
data
Mhm.
analysis, my support team. And then next
Mhm.
thing you know, I start teaching dealers how to use it more internally instead of the chatbot way.
Mhm.
You know, how to
Mhm.
do one-on-ones using AI, how to have team meetings, how to look at
Mhm.
reporting and marketing and who you're and next thing you know, the full thing that got me to the space of where we're at now, Sean, is before the technical stuff, I always had this line that said, my number one goal is to make others' lives better, is make lives better.
Mhm.
Then it
Mhm.
evolved to my other people's lives will become better when Duran's life gets better. Because
Mhm.
if we focus on me just trying to make Sean's life better, I'll end up being miserable because Sean's
Mhm.
life will get better, but my life stays the same. I didn't get better.
Mhm.
I'm living outwardly. So I was like, okay, so I got to get internally better, then I can help other people. And so now that statement is I the goal is to see more people have more time to do what they really want to do. And so for me, my time, I like to have more time for myself, books,
Mhm.
writing, I would say working out, all these fun and my family, of course, you know, my
Mhm.
kids, and in the dealership world, I used to work, and I'm sure you know this as an entrepreneur if you went through this spell, but I worked 6 days a week. I was working really seven because on the seventh day, I was still doing reports. So I'm working like
Yep.
65, 85 hours a week. And doing that, I lost every connection to my wife, to my kids, my boys, everything.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so the mission is if we can get more people to be open and figure out ways that they
Mhm.
could
Mhm.
use this so that they're not working 65 to 85 to 100
Mhm.
hours a week so
Mhm.
they don't miss that connection with themselves or their spouse or with their kids, that really is
Mhm.
where we're at in 2025 as we're recording this. Is like I see this as a bigger mission. It's not about AI, it's about how can this help people that are about to pull their freaking heads out trying to keep up, because in dealerships, people in dealerships are going to feel this. There's not a single person in a dealership right now that's being asked to do more without being paid for it. Everybody's doing it,
Mhm.
meaning
Mhm.
dealerships and employers out there, they're raising the standard of what they want from them employees. I want you to make
Mhm.
about X amount of calls. I want you to do this. I want you to do this, but they're not paying them more for it. So I'm saying, hey, rather than do that, let's just help them innovate. So then that way everybody eats, everybody can make more money, but nobody has to invest more time. They just have to invest more thought. So long answer to your short question, which was great, by the way. But that's how the evolution happened. It was fear because lack of knowledge. Then knowledge got
Mhm.
applied into myself first. Then I was like, wow, let's see how this will help others. It started helping them. And then now it's like, let's scale this thing out so we can heal the world one person at a time.
Yes. So I want to speak to what you just said. I'm going to speak to it from what I've seen you constantly do, and the one thing you constantly talk about, and that's important, is the human interaction.
Yeah.
And you're always like videos. Make the human interaction. Make sure you're doing something different. Make sure you stand out. And I'm always like, okay, he's on point. The way he's evolved, the way he's changed his profile up, the way he's doing his videos. This dude is no joke. So when I see you start to go towards AI, I was like, oh, he's about to blow up because yeah, what once he realized what AI can really do, like, oh yeah, it's over. So one thing that you said was always have the human interaction, make it on point.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is that AI is going to be like a suit and tie. It's going to have a bow tie. It's gonna look the best of the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
With AI doing that, AI has now forced you to step your game up to where now you have the human interaction. You have to come across that much better because if they're already, that was AI, and then they come down here and like, yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
that was AI, and now to get somebody even better than that, oh yeah, it's like AI just literally handles my off, dude. So one of the things that I remember speaking to her, I sent you a message about, and one of the things I was like, you know what? Once he understands, once he puts this into his Duran Cage, he puts this on his label and his with his brand, then he'll blow up. Is that every single dealership has what they call BDR, where they have
Oh
people
yeah.
on the cell phone, they're
Yep.
calling these people, whatnot. If AI was making phone calls or if AI was sending those texts, and people like, we all know people are going to respond to texts more than with a phone call, but if you have AI doing that, and then they see the conversation with AI is on point, because the AI is going to say whatever you want to say about all your inventory, about everything, what is you're looking forward. AI is having a conversation. Then when that person comes to the door, okay, I'm gonna sit you to meet Duran. He's gonna display everything. He's one of our top specialists. They walk in, now they're ready to be wowed. Not so I don't mean it's a bad way, but I
No, no,
believe
no.
representation is a good thing. You're
Yeah.
not going to everybody is I want to say this and bite my tongue. For the most part, people will put on maybe a casual 2-button shirt, right? I understand, I respect that. You just want to be casual, you want to be calm down. But let me ask you this. If I go to a dealership and if I see a gentleman dressed like you versus a gentleman dressed in jeans and a shirt on, who am I going to talk to?
Mm,
So have you, once you've said, okay, I don't know realtors wear jeans. I don't know insurance people who go in the office and you say wear jeans. And once you say, okay, you know what? I won't say, I mean lackadaisy in a bad way. I mean it in a way of the expectation has come down. If you
oh
bring the expectation up, then I'm like, well, why is this dude dressed up like that? Well, I'm dressed up because I respect this car. I respect this process. I respect the fact that you're giving me time to be in your space. That you send anywhere in the world for Jesus to be here with me right now. So I respect that. So I'm gonna give you the best version of me possible. And that's not when wear t-shirt and jeans. That's me coming near as good as I possibly can, respecting everything around this organization, if that makes sense. Once a person sees that AI has boosted that expectation and they match and exceed that, oh my goodness. Oh
mm,
my goodness. Me and you both know people don't buy your service, your product. People buy who they like, or they buy from who they like.
that's right.
So you can have the best product, the best service, but you don't know how to translate that. You don't know how to talk about that. No, they're
Yeah.
going to go somewhere else.
Man, that's so good. You and ooh we. All right, so we got to keep this part going now, because you
Yes.
talked about the BDRs. Because this is big. This is happening all over the industry where it's disrupting. I'm in a couple Facebook groups, social media groups,
Mhm,
where there's a lot of BDRs, the business development representatives,
mhm,
and they're being dissolved. I've had a few clients where I won't say they dissolved their BDC, we moved the roles. So what's happening is I'm advising dealerships that either for cash reasons or they just really want to innovate using AI to do a lot of the BDC heavy lifting. We're
mhm,
seeing
mhm,
BDRs now move into roles of salespeople or getting
mhm,
more into
mhm,
like, man, Sean, I would almost call it like a mini CTO for the store. You know,
mhm,
like they're manning the agents and they're teaching people, and I'm teaching them how to teach others. Like, so they're like the AI champion, is what we could call them, the
mhm,
coach
mhm, mhm.
that's there on store. But talk to us a little bit about that. Like, maybe if you could give two perspectives. If you're a BDR and you're scared that you might get replaced, what's your thoughts right now? And then the other question would be, if you're a dealership owner, what AI, like what are like the top 3 AI? So we'll just focus on the first question first, all right? Because that's
Okay.
loaded. First question, if you're a business development representative, you're getting paid hourly plus commissions to have set shows and solds happen. What's your mindset? What are you doing right now, given all this AI stuff? And then I'll give you the second question when you're done answering this one.
Okay, so when you ask that question, it's kind of hard to answer because if you're a BDR and your job is to be on the phone, everybody doesn't have the entrepreneur mindset in their heart to just speak up and say something. So everybody's not going to be Duran. Everybody's not going to be Sean. So they may just come in and they're just going to do what they're supposed to do. But anybody that has business sense is going to say, okay, you know what? Let me get to understand AI. AI can, now that I know AI can do this for me, there's no sense in me making these phone calls when I can go talk to my boss, Duran, and say, Duran, let's get AI so AI can call or AI can send text.
Mm-hmm.
AI is now having those people that are using on the phone, they're not on the phone anymore. They're out and about doing other stuff. And now you have AI, which is send text, make phone calls. They're setting the appointments for them. So when they come in, now that BDR is talking to them. That BDR is now a salesperson. Now I'm able to have a conversation if they want to get because AI has done all my smart work that I need to do. It sent all them texts. It sent, these people of getting their numbers. They give me consent to be contacted. AI is constantly saying, have a conversation with them or how so, how your daughter doing, blah, blah. Bro, where I say normal conversation, I know whatever it is you tell AI is not only everything you tell AI, but what AI is gathering from that information from that client or that prospect. Now AI has this conversation going through. They can do this and do that. Now AI is giving me an experience to where, okay, now I'm coming to see Duran. Now I'm expecting to have this car, this color, this features, this and that. Now show it to what you want. What is stopping you from making this switch? What is stopping you from buying a car B? Or what can we do to help make this experience that much greater? And you sit there, you have that conversation, talking to that person, and you're not coming in with a polo shirt on, you're coming in dressed to like you're selling Maybachs, okay? You can just sell Volkswagens, but you dress like you're selling Maybachs. It's gonna be a different experience. And they're
Yeah.
gonna appreciate that. They'll be like, you know what? You've actually taken AI and you ran with it. So I don't mean to I know how old you are, not specifically, but I know about. But do you remember, I know you do. You remember the Justins?
Oh yeah, all day, every Saturday. I'm watching, if not
So
daily.
well, at least what, 40, we'll give it at least 4 years ago. If they knew 4 years ago what AI was going to be doing now. Imagine. We don't know. I can now just say, I'm not amazed by anything because I already know that they already plan to do everything, have AI do everything. So this is this is the industry I felt was not going to be touched by AI. And then I seen that video, it was real. And I was like, what the? And it blew me away. AI is in the construction industry, making buildings right now as we speak. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
If you have robots usually out there and they're in the construction industry, you only have to say, okay, this is what I want. How do I make this happen? What do I need to do? Because this computer, well, we're looking at really what big screens 20 years ago, big monitors.
Yeah.
Now we have laptops. Was there any podcast 20 years ago? Business is evolving. That's from the BDR position. From an owner position, I have to say, okay, I'll spend X amount of dollars at X amount of people sit here and make these phone calls. Why don't I just have AI doing this? It's going to cost me about a quarter of the cost, and I have AI bringing qualified people that are actually interested in buying.
Mm-hmm.
What let me learn about AI, how to implement AI into every single aspect of my business to make everybody's job easier and realize AI is not here to replace anybody unless you
Yeah.
want to replace them. AI is only here to assist them.
Yeah. What I would add is that what I wrote down from like hearing both sides from a BDR and a dealership owner, but especially from a BDR, what I just heard Sean say that should get you excited and fired up is AI is going to create actually more engaged shoppers, which creates better experiences while you're working at the dealership. I think what a lot of us have to do, no different than I had to untrain myself, is sometimes we chase the hunt more than we chase the conversation. Does that make,
Mhm,
you know what I
mhm,
mean? Like
mhm,
it's like
mhm,
that.
mhm.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just like you the fact that you could reach out and personally keep calling after calling after calling after calling, and you can call 100 times to connect with 15 to 20 people, or
Mhm,
you could have something that's doing those 100 calls and all you do is follow up on those 20 people, right? So now what do you do with that other time of those other 80 dials that you would have done, but something else is
mhm,
doing it for
mhm.
you? Or the same thing with messaging. I see BDRs that really enjoy the hunt of sending out personalized messages over and over again because they feel like the sixth one is going to get them. It could, the sixth message could, or you could just be having conversations with people that are reaching out because of what the AI, um, what the AI or whatever that agent created, that experience. And so I think that's the issue that most people forget about is they feel like their jobs being replaced, but really it's not their jobs being replaced. It's certain parts of their job are being replaced so they could spend more time doing what matters most, and which helps people make so much more income, which ties into, again, that time, that stress that people have at work. Outside though of chat, we talked about it, what all it can do. Is there any outside of the box strategies that you think a dealership could use, could do or use with AI that maybe some aren't getting into? Because right now, Sean, most AIs are like what I said. They're more chat bots on the website, and then they can SMS text with people. There's lead follow up, right? The lead. So once the
Mhm,
lead
mhm.
comes in, there's the follow up to nurture. But what are some other strategies that you think a dealership? This is more for the more forward thinking dealers. So
Mhm, mhm,
I'd
mhm.
imagine that there's still 25 to 35% of dealers that are really active in this. Like they're loving this
Mhm, mhm,
conversation and they're like, I
mhm.
want more. What else, Sean? So what's another thought or another layer that people could move up to get ahead of the game?
So I'm gonna repeat something I said before, and
Hmm.
the quick game like, okay, he's not joking, he's serious. To get ahead of the game, you have to understand that anything you do with the phone on the computer, AI can do it. Anything you can do on the phone or on the computer, AI can do it. Anything. I don't mean something, I mean anything. So wherever it is, you look and say, this is a process I've set in place. You have to do this, you have to do this. No, they don't. You're choosing them to do that. AI can do that. And no, AI is not going to do perfectly because then you got the secretary here. The secretary didn't do anything perfectly. You had to train, you had to coach, you had to teach them. Then now they're going to be here, what, 4 or 5 years? Now they got to do it. I
Hmm.
bet you within a year or less, AI, you'd be like, okay, and AI ain't calling sick. AI ain't giving them no babies. AI ain't got no problems. Ain't no car wrecks, no tires. No AI is going 20 a computer 24/7, 24/7. Anything. It's just a matter of them sitting down saying, okay, um, here's AI. AI can do this, but let me do this. Let me try to find out what company can cater to my needs. And
Yeah.
even more so, what company is willing to put their money where their mouth is. So, for example, where I say that is this the reason why I'm part of this company I work with is because I did one thing in my business. And it's funny, one of my models is, and I used to use it all the time, is my business is helping you grow your business. So me putting my money where my mouth is saying, okay, pay for the appointment after appointment. One of the special products we have is where a person does a paper result program. It's like a pilot program.
Hmm.
The same person who's been whatever industry you are. Let's say you have about 1,000 leads, and these are old leads you already paid for. Things didn't work out. They didn't show up. They said no about bugs, new tires, or not. We all know in sales Then a person has to talk to you a second, third time, they're more than likely going to buy because they did all their tire kicking and now they're ready to make a decision. So they come in, they have this conversation, and they're sitting in front of you. Okay, now they can buy. You just have a bit of closing. So they say, okay, give us those leads through conversation AI through text. We're going to be texting. We're having a full blown conversation with full blown conversation. Then once they set the appointment, we're going to charge you not for the appointment. We're going to charge you if the appointment sits. Our job is to close them. Your job is to close them. So we charge you after appointment sits. You're like, oh, you know what? Okay. Now I made money on leads that I was like, they're collecting digital dust. Hey, I can't say right. So now I've made some money from this program. Now I can look at other processes I have in the business and I can implement AI voice agents, right? AI, whatever you want to call them, take care of this, take care of that, do this, do that, do that.
That's incredible. I almost want to name the show anything a phone computer can do. That's a T-shirt. Like I love that because all I'm thinking of is, if I'm a dealer, I'm thinking social media, I'm thinking Google reviews, I'm thinking owner life cycle follow up. I'm thinking
AI
admin
does all that.
assistant work. There's so much.
AI does all that.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it though, Sean. You said the first thing that I would do as a dealership owner is you really do have to sit there and think. You got to slow down and just be like, hold on, what am I doing? And that I think that's that other when you asked me that question earlier, I read a book. It's called AI Leadership. I don't know. It's one of those books that I have back there, but it's by a guy named Jeff, but it's like GEOF. But he talked about that. He's like, when he worked with a lot of wealthy people, business owners, all this, every single one of them encouraged 30 minutes of thought. They said, when you come to work, I want you to just think for a second. And then even Google, I think Google has it known to where Google makes it to where a certain percentage of their time every single week is for innovative thought. And I think what we're going to see, Sean, in dealerships is you're going to see owners, GMs, all the way down to the business development representatives. They're going to tell them, I want you to, before you start your day, can you spend 30 minutes in thought? Just think about, is what I'm doing today making sense, or should we create something? Is there a better solution for that, for the use of our time? So I think that how you answer that is so much better than somebody saying, well, the first thing I would do is I would do data cleansing with AI, or I would, because every dealership is so unique to their own business and their own problems and where they need to be. So, man, that's so good. I got a couple other questions for you, and then I'm gonna let you get to it. These are called the intelligence gauntlet, like where I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions, but you can take your time answering these because your responses is pure gold, and I don't want anybody to miss anything. So, first question that I have for you, Sean, is what's the favorite AI tool that you're using right now for either for yourself or to help clients?
That's a good one. AI Genius.
AI Genius, and what does that do?
Yes. What it is it's the actual programming software that the company I work with
Okay.
and actually use to program AI to do anything and everything. So when I say anything and everything, I mean literally anything and everything. So they may have five basic. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, you see a link to the website on there, and they have five basic services like a reactivation program, AI answer out of bound, was after hours AI agent, and they just have different levels, different things you can do, which is I don't like to say the word generic, but it's like this is what anybody can use. But we can also tailor AI to do anything you want it to.
Okay.
As long as it involves a phone or a computer, we'll tailor AI to do anything you want to do. They just sit down, talk, and explain to me what process you're using right now. Then we'll create AI to take care of the process, or create AI, whatever, take care of that so you're not doing it. Only you have to do, if you want, just same thing with your secretary. Okay. You're doing good. You're doing good. Okay. You can have it on your own. I'm not worried about you. And then we just continue to go and go and go from there. So my biggest thing would be and this is going to sound a little strange in my voice. The biggest one that I would say I like is that AI genius. Myself and using it, I don't do the programming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to sound strange coming from somebody who promotes AI. But top, top thing is not even AI. And I'll explain by telling the joke I said earlier. There's only one Sean Schaffer.
That's right.
So my favorite thing is connect with people on LinkedIn. Once I connect with them, have a conversation with them, then I can introduce them to AI. I can introduce them to anything that can be done. That LinkedIn and Chat GPT.
I love
So
it.
Chat GPT, I'm still learning how valuable it is. It's like, whoa. So also there's a link. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. I just got to make this post about LinkedIn. I said, yeah, I was waiting for it. Somebody finally asked me, can I ask Chat GPT do this, create me leads in the sales funnel, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, whenever I read people's posts on LinkedIn, I know they're doing marketing or selling. They're trying to get some attention, trying to say the same thing a different way. They want to, man, look at me, look at me. You're supposed to. Um, some people talk way too much. I'm like, bruh, I'm not reading all that. And your videos always give me because, okay, I'm using the eyes, using my ears, and using everything, and using my senses versus reading. I ain't got time to read all that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there, this guy's making this post. And it's very, very short, it's like deep paragraph. This person finally asked me, and I'm thinking in my head, why would somebody ask you, can I ask Chat GPT? And so I answered my first comment was, so what was the answer? So I instinctively said, go find it myself. Went to ChatGPT and started telling ChatGPT what I needed. Bro, ChatGPT gave me like running explanation. I was like, what? And it told me how to go about doing how to get these leads the exact same way I was already doing it. I was like, who know to put that in ChatGPT? Who knew to put it in
Mm-hmm.
there? ChatGPT. I was like, this is crazy. But just lets me know what's that thing called? This computer. They said once it gets to a level where it thinks on its own 100%, I forget quantum something.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just waiting for that level to come where AI is going to have a conversation, show emotion, do this, do that. Yeah, oh man. I could tell you some funny stories about AI, people having conversations. Some of them are 100% jerks. Some of them are just weirdos. I was like, dude, what type of life do you live? What are you going to do? Ask the AI,
Well,
like,
that kind of leads to the second question I have. It says, what's the biggest myth about AI that needs to die? The biggest myth about AI that needs to die.
AI is here to replace you.
Yeah, I knew it. That's what when I read that, I was like, that's going to be the one. AI is here to replace us. That is complete. It's kind of like cars were here to replace us, or libraries or books. I've read so many books that talk about when new things came out. You know, when a car came out, people were like, this is the end of the world. But when books, I had no idea. When books first got printed from the printing press, people were very against that. And they were like, do not trust the words in these books, right? So we get all these books and stuff like that. The first ones that
Mhm.
got printed off, people were upset because
Mhm.
remember who used to write who well, I just gave the answer. When we read books, well, we probably didn't or whatever, but those were written down. Somebody was paid. You remember when we watched some old movies where somebody's like walking and talking and there's somebody writing the words? So when the printing press got invented and books started getting printed off at mass production, people thought that was about to be the end of the world. No joke. So it's kind of crazy, like all these different myths that happen when change comes, but really, I think it comes back to what I said at the beginning. It's that fear of change. It's the fear of not knowing is one of the scariest things in the world. And so what we do is we input fear there and we say, that can't be good for us. Number three, phone call or AI chatbot. Which one closes faster? I like that question. Phone call or AI chatbot? Which one closes faster?
Neither.
Ah, I like it. Which
So the
closes
reason
the
why I say
fastest?
neither, the reason why I say neither is because the chatbot is usually on somebody's website, right? You have a
Mm-hmm.
chatbot. Chatbot is like so irrelevant to me nowadays. It's like chatbot. What? Why a chatbot? And
Yeah.
you can have them actually talk to AI and have a conversation. They feel like they're having a conversation with the human. A phone call, they can have a phone call, but 9 out of 10 times you're gonna take more and more and more phone calls in order to close it. Unless you're selling something to be a one call closer, it's gonna take multiple phone calls. So I would say neither. But as you express and you say, what's the word? The word that you promote most, I say, is human interaction. So that human interaction, that's gonna grow the most.
All day. Best advice you ever received about business or life?
Hmm. I can't say the business part, but I'm trying to think about the life part. Oh, so the life part, the business part, yeah, it gets is heavy, but the life part, and I made a joke about it twice, but it was when somebody told me, and I realized it was like, whoa, okay, you're right. I thought about it. I didn't just come with myself, but somebody told me, and it made me realize how as individuals, we're very unique and we have to hone in on our gifts and our abilities that we have and choose how to use those either help ourselves or so help more people so that we can help ourselves by helping more people because we're able to shine a light. So
Yeah.
what I mean by that is, let me say it. God only made one Sean Schaffer. Do you?
That's it. That's it. Well, but no, the reason why that's so important though is because that's what allows everybody to either create their own table or to be the best version, whatever they want to do, they
Yes.
can do it because
Yes.
there's only one version of that person.
Yes.
And the scary part, I talk about fear a lot, but the fear is going into that person, like knowing who you
Yes.
are, but really
Yes.
going real all in because now you're going into a space that nobody else is there. Because I'm only going to get to talk to one Sean Schaefer. There will not be
Yes.
another Sean that I
Yes.
can talk to. I can talk to somebody that wants to be like Sean, but at
Yes.
the end of the day, when we watch the two shows, you will know the difference between a Sean Schaefer and whoever that other person is that claims that they are
Yes.
X.
Yes.
So
So I'm
you're
gonna make this comparison without just because it's a funny comparison. But before I made the comparison, I want to ask you a question, and it goes more into the God only made one to engage. Well, I'm gonna show you this. How many twins have you met in your life? You don't have to be exact, just roundabout.
how many twins?
Yeah, like twins, twin brothers, twin sisters.
How many have I made?
No, met.
Oh, I thought you I was like, bro, like none. I got four
What?
kids, ain't none of them twins. But no, Matt, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about that when you said that comment. I only know maybe 3 or 4. You know, I coach basketball, so I coached a set, and then I went to school with a few, but it's not many. I guarantee you between 5 to 10 max in terms of how many twins I've met.
So let me ask you this. How long did it take you to recognize the difference between one twin and the next twin to where they weren't twins anymore?
Man, I would say for the most part, a lot of them, it was pretty a lot of twins that I knew, and it might be a little weird for your answer, but a lot of twins that I knew when they spoke, I knew the difference. Most of them, like because one was completely into one, and the other was completely like, you know what I mean? Like it rarely was like they both dressed, like what you saw on TV where they dress the same, talk the same, act the same. And even those that I did meet that were close, there was still some big separation between the two that you instantly just knew which one
You know
was
why that
which.
is? You know why that is?
Why is that?
God only made one to engage.
That's That's right. That's it. That's it. So I mean, you only gonna get one. He didn't make a clone version of it. So if that's the case, let's dive all in on that. All right, last
So
question.
let me
Oh, go ahead.
before
No,
we get to the
finish
next
what you're saying
question,
first
let
before I go to
me
that last
this
one. Go ahead.
comparison for you. Um, I'm gonna say this in a very wow. I'm gonna try to say in a wild way. When you look at Michael Jordan, I don't say that because he's black with a bald head.
Hmm.
But when you think Michael Jordan, how many Michael Jordans are there in this world?
Only one. But
What he
but
was able to do, people are trying to imitate, but you can't imitate that.
mm-mm.
Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, you can't imitate. No, you can try to say, "Oh, I do this, I do that." You didn't do what Michael Jordan did. Nobody's gonna, nobody.
and which means people are just going to crave that authenticity that much more when there's going to be so many more clones out there. You know what I mean? Because what you feed into a chat GPT or a large database is going to bring
Yes,
out some of the
yes,
best, the greats, the top of every industry. Well, then all you're going to do is recycle the top of every industry. And if anybody focuses on cycles or whoever's at the top is only there for a little while. You'll never really notice even a rap artist, a singer, an actor, anything that you can think of, it always cycles to where people move on to something else. And that's that authenticity I think humans, we all crave, is just at some point, we're always looking for something and somebody to attach to. So maybe right now that person's not where they want to be, but it's just because people's eyeballs might be on something else, but they're also on you and waiting as you continue to grow. Like what you said, Sean, I mean, it might take years. You post for a month, and then after 12 months of posting, people know who you are. They're like, okay, this is the person. But if you show up like everybody else, people will never know who you are because they'll be like,
at
oh,
all.
this is just another one of
Yeah.
them. But when you're your true authentic self, that's when people, they pay attention. That's good.
So before we get to the next question, another question for you,
Mm-hmm.
and just you think about this for as long as you need to, because it'll blow your mind. Have you, as long as you've been live, have you seen a more powerful and influential service such as AI?
No, because to me, it builds. Because before this, I thought CRM was that. That's why I've always talked about CRM and video, because to me, when you put CRM and video together, I could flip any business in the world on its head. But now, when you take AI, CRM, video, and you put all that and then the human authenticity, to me, whatever's next, I'm not sure, but it just keeps stacking on top of the next. So pretty fun.
And AI is touching every industry. And people are like, whoa. Every industry, every single thing just growing. Have new thoughts, new ideas. Okay, I need this. Okay, how can I be different? Do this, do this. It's never ending. Never ending.
It's here. So all right, that last one. It says finish this sentence. In 2026, businesses who thrive will be the ones who
Use AI.
use AI. Simple enough. That was a
And-
perfect layup for all the
right?
whole
And
yeah.
I want to make sure I say this.
Yeah.
I'm not only here to market our versions and our products and services of AI, but anybody and everybody who's saying, you know what, we have AI does this, we have AI does that. I support any positive advances with AI because I support humans being better and being more happier and living lives that they want to live and realizing, okay, you only working 40 hours because you find a way to work 30 hours, 20 hours, and you work
Sure.
30 hours. And if you can have work those hours and get that money, the same shit, you can do that. AI is gonna make that possible.
Man, he closed it out. That's it. That button this whole thing up. But most importantly too, though, Sean, there might be some people that want to reach out to you. They might want to email, text, or pick your brain, have a deeper conversation. How do they do that?
The best way is to
Mm-hmm.
check Sean, Sean, like Sean Connery, just the black version, and the last name. Last name Schaffer, Schaffer. Sean Schaffer on LinkedIn.
All
And then we
right.
can go from there.
Hey, that's where I connected with Sean. That's where we've been friends, professional, business, you know, partners, and providing solutions. So I think it's really cool what LinkedIn can do. It really is my hands down my the favorite platform that I have to connect with because I learned so much. This was such a great conversation. So many nuggets, so many insights. I look forward to sharing this with the world, but most importantly, Sean, thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your wisdom, and I'm sure we'll be doing this again. And so we definitely need to have more conversations offline because this I've got a bunch of notes and there's some other questions that I want to ask you for my own business sake. So
Yes,
let's keep our conversations going and growing at the
that's
same
right.
time. And then I'll include all your information on this show, and then I'll be sending this out to the Cage community, which has thousands of people in
I
it. In
appreciate
terms of
that.
those are like my clients, so they'll have your information. They'll be able to reach out as well. But Sean, thank you so much. I appreciate this.
And before you end, let me say this.
Mhm.
Anybody who has the privilege and the pleasure to work with you is going to receive an experience that's gonna make them realize we need to ran. Because I've seen you at least what a year ago when you first got LinkedIn and how you were conversing AI, and I've seen you evolve and grow and do different things. I'm like, this guy is a point. He is not he is no joke. So anybody, I thank you for me being able to be in the same space and have a conversation with you because I'm like, you know what? This guy's a genius in his own right. So anybody who has that experience to work with you and you're only gonna bring something positive and something beneficial to every single dealership you get to work with. And you're gonna your goal is to help people make their lives better, make them happier, help them somewhere to different, be different, and use them tools out there. That I say this: there's only one Durand Gage.
And there's only one Sean Schaefer. So,
Yes, sir.
man, appreciate your words so much. That means a lot, especially from somebody who I learned so much from and follow. I promise you all, you will not be upset if you get on LinkedIn and you follow Sean, read, pay close attention, because that's how we all evolve. We can go so far alone, right? But we can go much farther together. So, thank you, Sean, so much. Until next time, be well. Let's keep evolving. Appreciate you.